Yo, what's going on? It's Keith from Black Quarterback Series. Excuse my ashy hand. I clicked record and didn't realize, but we're gonna keep it moving. This is how laid back the off season is going to be. So, we got a few topics. One of them is not NFL related, but I think a lot of us will be interested in, especially uh, my age. Well, I skew a little older, but people in our age group, blah blah blah. I just think as a sports fan, you'll find it interesting. So, if you want to just listen to my Kansas City breakdown, because that's what this video's main event is going to be, I'm gonna leave that time marker at the bottom. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is not nothing that I want to talk about, but it's something I feel obligated to talk about, considering he's a Baltimore Ravens, and we talked about him all season. Justin Tuck has allegations against him. You can go read about the allegations. I'm sure I'll leave it up at the top. I think this one is a little different than the Deshaun Watson one, because the Deshaun Watson one almost came out of nowhere. It kind of popped up out of nowhere, and it kind of everything that kind of led up to it, I think, was a little weird. And you can say what you want about Deshaun Watson. He's not a good teammate. There's reports he's not a good teammate, and it felt like a cloud lifted and blah blah blah. Right? He was a gamer, and I don't think that he did necessarily what they said he did. He ended up paying people off and blah blah blah. So we probably won't talk about Deshaun Watson again on this channel, unfortunately. But I think that was more of a they were trying to extort money from him and all this, right? This seems like it has legs from back in 2021 about Justin Tuck being weird with the massage people. So I think they're kind of two different things. If you want more on it, obviously Google it, do your research and all that. But yeah, they might have to release him. They might have to release Justin Tuck. That might just be the way that it has to be. You don't want that. He's still a Hall of Fame kicker at the end of the day, but if this is going back from 3 years ago, you kind of got to let him go. And I saw somebody on the timeline talk about this is the easiest way Baltimore can release him and not feel bad about it. And I agree with it. I don't know if they got anybody in the Tuck, no pun intended, to replace him. But this is not a good look. This is not a good look, especially when you ended the season as bad as you did. It's just not a good look. I expect Justin Tuck to not be on an NFL roster next season as they try to handle this. But that's really all I got to say about it. I don't really have any more deep opinions on it because you just don't know. So, the second topic. If you guys don't like basketball, skip this. I'll leave a marker at the end for my next topic because I'm sure there's some Bron haters and they're, I know how the NBA goes. This is why I didn't do NBA content specifically because it's so toxic over there. But I just felt the need to talk about this. Anthony Davis is traded to Dallas for Luka freaking Doncic. And that's the gist of the trade, right? Maxi Kleber and Safino and all. It was a couple other minor details. I put it on the screen, but the crux of it is Anthony Davis is going to Dallas for Luka. Now Luka's been hurt. Luka ain't played since Christmas. As I drop my notebook again, Luka hasn't played since Christmas, and with a calf strain. But he's the better player in this trade. If I don't know what the Lakers were supposed to do, not take it. I love Anthony Davis, but at the end of the day, he's a 31-year-old guy who struggled with injuries his whole life. Since he came to the league. You make that trade 100 times out of 100. It's just, as Dallas, why would you do that when you're removed from the NBA Finals? You hope he gets better and you go back for it. This same team made a run last year and got to the NBA Finals. The West is pretty much wide open other than Oklahoma City. And there's an argument to be made that if you do play the Celtics in the finals or you do play the Cavaliers in the finals, hell, you play the Bucks in the finals, you might have the best player. If you play the Bucks, you would have probably the two best players on the floor maybe. So it's why make such a rash decision for almost no reason? The I don't get the decision. From the Lakers standpoint, you do it. LeBron has said that he's not gonna let his no trade clause go to move. He's gonna stay with this team and figure it out. Which he's 40 years old. Rumors are going on that he's gonna retire next year. As I'm looking over at the Pro Bowl, which we'll get into in a minute. It's like wow. That's what it feels like. It's just like wow, we're really doing this. So Anthony Davis has some ties in Dallas. His rep, his Nike rep when he first came in the league is the general manager over there. Him and Kyrie seem to be close. Clutch is over there as well. So it's just like there's some connections over there. Jason Kidd is the head coach. He was the assistant coach when LA won the bubble championship, which I think is a real championship. So it's just I don't know why you run a good thing. They're saying he's overweight. They have concerns about his conditioning and everything, but he's 25 years old. Anybody watching, how are you at 25 years old? You were probably the same way. This is an ultra talented guy that you're giving away for somebody who might be healthy. Now, the tip top of Anthony Davis is bona fide best player in the league type stuff, right? But he's 31. He's on the other end. The best of Anthony Davis we've seen already. So I don't know. It's just a crazy trade. Craziest trade I've ever seen in my life. So that's not really all I got to say about it. Let me know what y'all think about it because this is crazy. So if you noticed, I was looking over at the Pro Bowl and they're doing this like tug of war thing. I wish I could take my thing off and show you. But they're doing this tug of war thing. And I'm just like, who is this for? Like, who is this for? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand what is this. You know what I mean? I know they don't want to do the full game. They want to make the game safer, blah, blah, blah. But like, nobody's watching this. I'm surprised that there are people in the stands watching this. Like, what the NFL needs to do is take the game back to Hawaii. That would probably make people more or less go play. Josh is not here. Pat's not here. Lamar's not here. A lot of guys, Derek is not here. Like, there's a lot of guys that are not here. This is like second, third tier superstars, right? And I'm just looking at it. It's been on in the background all day. I had to rewatch the Senior Bowl. But other than that, it's just like, what are we doing? Like, it seems meaningless. You know what I mean? It just seems meaningless. The NFL legit could just have the NFL honors, do like the NBA do, where they just give everybody your first team, second team, third team. And we do have that in all pros. But this is just not. It's hard to have an NFL All-Star game when you're trying to not be hurt. You know? So, I don't know. It's just weird. It's so weird. I don't understand it, but hey, whatever. I mentioned the Reese's Senior Bowl. I really didn't watch it. It was kind of on. Tried to get a chance to get a look at Jalen Milroe, just to start my draft process a little early. And I kind of already knew this, but this is just a snapshot of what I saw, the few possessions that I saw from Jalen Milroe. His high end is probably Jalen Hurts, right? His low end, who would his low end be? Because I think he's extremely talented. I think his low end might be Anthony Richardson, maybe. Now, this is just me off a few snaps and from what I know him from playing in Alabama. So we're gonna see. Excuse me. We're gonna see what he's about, but he needs to fall to the right organization. I don't think Jalen Milroe is the first round pick. He's probably mid-third, if I had to guess. But he's a quarterback, so he's gonna go higher. So I would probably grade him second round, mid-third, maybe. That's just off my little known knowledge that I know about him. But yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think about that. The Senior Bowl is a great thing. We should have that in college football. I really feel like we should have the Senior Bowl in college football. So the main event, what you guys came here for, the Kansas City Chiefs my keys to Kansas City winning. They got to play the game, obviously, blah, blah, blah. The defense has to stop Saquon from going crazy and force Jalen Hurts to be a passer. You have a better chance of beating the Eagles if you make Jalen Hurts pass for 300 yards than you have if he runs for 150 and then throws for another 250. Obviously, regular football stuff, right? But that run that they have, it sets up everything else. If you can stop the run and make them have to pass first, you have a better chance of winning. I'm not going to say you got a chance to win because Jalen is special. Jalen Hurts is special. But you have a better chance of winning if you force them to be more passing. Because if you let Saquon jump out the window, shout out to Shannon Sharp, you let Saquon jump out the window and boogie on you and run for 80, 90 yards in the first quarter and feeling good, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. As an offense, I think you have to score early and put this game out of reach. Put this game out of reach. If you put this game out of reach, you force them to get away from the run. You force them to get away from the run, and then they have to start pressing. And you know how the Eagles are. They have to start pressing. So those are the things I think that they need to do as far as winning this game. I'm not going to give you guys my pick. I'll give you guys my pick Friday. And then we'll do the Eagles' keys to victory on Wednesday. So, yeah, that's what I think. That's generally what I think. You got to stop the run, force them to be passing, and get out to a good lead early. So those are my three keys to victory for our guys Kansas City. And I was going to go into a detail about Taylor Swift and blah blah blah, but I don't feel like it's needed. Look, if I want it to be about football, I got to make it about football. So, but those are my three keys to victory for Kansas City. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys Wednesday.